Today we have Tamara. She has been licensed since 2015 and has thoroughly enjoyed working with buyers and sellers ever since. Her favorite comment from clients after a transaction closes is that was easy. Tamara always wants her clients to feel seen and valued, and because of this, most of her business comes from past clients and referrals. When not selling houses, you can find her enjoying life with her children and grandchildren, traveling to other countries, and eating good food, mostly Italian. So that is one of the many reasons she is an excellent candidate to be teaching you guys about growing your database today. She implements a lot of great things within her business to make her have a strong referral business, which we hope that you all grow. So definitely take this time to learn, listen, and ask lots of questions. And thanks for all of you that do have your cameras on today. I know it makes it more engaging for her as she teaches too. Take it away.
Take it away. Thanks, Mara. Hello, everybody. So glad to see all of you here today. I don't know any of you, so I don't know what your background is, how long you've been licensed. So if you don't mind, just this might be a mess, but go ahead and unmute and just let me know how long you've been licensed and take turns and let's power through, shall we?
Since October.
Thank you.
December.
Since November.
October too. Oh, go ahead.
No problem. November for me.
Thanks, Carson.
January.
October for me.
Oh, about 3 weeks for me.
Oh, good job, Taylor. Who are we missing?
November.
Since November. All right.
I just started in October with KWCC.
Nice. Are any of you in the Eugene Springfield area? Okay, good. Then we'll see each other now and again, maybe. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here today. My background is in teaching. I love teaching. I led elementary ed is my degree, but now I get to teach people how to buy and sell houses, which is tons of fun. And one of my passions since I started in real estate is helping other brokers become the best brokers that they can be. So I enjoy opportunities to help brokers learn and grow their own businesses. And that's, nobody paid me to say that. I actually like it. So I am loving being able to be here. Grow your database is something that is near and dear to my heart. Command is a fantastic program. Command is actually the reason that I moved from Berkshire Hathaway to Keller Williams 10 years ago, because I was happy in my brokerage. I loved the people I worked with and didn't see any reason to leave. And then I went to Family Reunion in 2018, and I was blown away by the opportunity at Keller Williams, the database opportunities I have, the training opportunities, the accessibility to the leadership. And so it was a no-brainer for me to make the switch. And Command was in its brand new baby form when I started, and I wanted it to move faster because they told us all the things that Command was going to do for us. And I logged in and I started dropping things into Command, and they're like, no, sorry, we can't do that yet. We don't have the capability for that yet. So I've been here with KW since the birthing of this beautiful system. And now, honestly, full disclosure here, I don't even know all the things Command can do for me now because I haven't kept up with how much is available. But pretty much anything you want to do or know, learn about, utilize in your business, you're going to find it in Command. So it's an incredible tool. Is there anyone in this classroom today that is using something other than Command, which is completely fine? I'm just curious if anyone else is using a different database, CRM. Great, you made the right choice. What I heard in years past was the best contact management system is the one that you use. So As long as you're using it and you're moving your business forward with it, then you're doing fine, whichever platform you happen to be using. We are going to do some breakout sessions today. Heads, thumbs up or nod or shake your head. In your previous Ignite classes, have you done breakout sessions where I send you away with a group of students to talk about things? Okay, great. Well, I love to use them because it gets you all conversing and learning from each other. So I think about 5 times or so we'll do breakaway sessions, and I'll tell you about those when we get there. I honestly haven't used Zoom in a long time. I switched over to Google Meet, so I might be clunky, which is fine. And I got to tell you what, I am so bad at paying attention to the chat box. So bad about that. I might notice once in a while if you put something in there. So if you really want to say something, unmute yourself and holler at me. Say, Tamara, got something to say. So you have a workbook, and today we are going to talk about growing your database. Your database is your business. This is where you are going to keep the information about your clients. It's where you're going to cultivate your contacts and your communications with your clients. You're going to, you have the option to take notes about your interactions with your clients. You can set up a task to remind yourself, call this client in 3 weeks. So your database is the hub of your business. And I can't stress enough how important it will be for you to put as much information into that database as you can. I have my daughter and I are a team here in Eugene, and sometimes she'll travel. And so I cover her business for her. And when she's gone and I have one of her clients calls out of the blue and says, hey, we're thinking about looking to buy a house, I go to Command to find out as much as I can about this client, whatever note she's put in, if they're a buyer, seller, if they've been pre-approved, have they looked at any houses, what have their conversations been? All of that is in Command if you put it there. And it's so helpful, not only for covering for another broker, but also for yourself. I'll have a client call me and say, I haven't talked to them in 3 years, and they call and say, hey, we're ready to sell now. And I'll think, what house do you live in? I go back to Command and I put in their address, I put in their phone number and their email. And so it's extraordinarily helpful, and it makes you look so smart. When you take notes, a conversation that you had 6 months ago, and then you call them up again for your quarterly call and you say, hey, just checking in to see how your son is doing. I know last time we talked, he broke his leg. How's it going? And people are like, wow, you remember that? I'm like, no, I just read it in my notes, but yes, I remember that. So all of those little things that make you stand out to your clients because you're paying attention, because you remember, and because you are the one reaching out. That's what your database is going to do for you. So we're going to talk about the database today. And I have a whole bunch of notes here that I may or may not read, just saying. But we're going to start with our first breakout session. We're going to give it a shot. And I'm just going to tell the system to divide you into 2 groups. There are 10 of us here. And the question, you have a couple of minutes to talk. I just want you to tell each other, what kinds of things do you want to get out of this session? So I'm going to find my button that says breakout rooms. We're going to do 2 breakout rooms, and I will we'll create them, and then I will have you spend that time in your breakout session, just a couple of minutes. And then when those 2 minutes are done, I will close all the rooms. So just heads up, all of a sudden you're all going to be back here with me. So what do you want to get out of this session as far as growing your database? That's your question, and collaborate with your colleagues. And
Sorry.
Stacy, you made it back.
I don't know where everybody else is at. We were like, we were all like in this room and we were talking and it said we had like 57 seconds left, you know, and then it just sent me away. And so am I the only one that's back?
They're coming
Oh,
in.
there they,
They're
okay.
all
You guys
rolling
lasted
back.
longer than I did apparently because I was the first one back. I'm sorry that you got cut off there, Taylor.
All right, well, thank you. It looks like everybody went and everybody came back. Almost everybody's back. We've got a few who still need to come back. And while we're waiting for them, just let me know, what are some of the things that you talked about that you want to learn about your database? Anybody can go.
We were just
And
talking about we would just like to find out tips and tricks and different ways of building the database.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Ryan.
We're talking about how to set it up and streamline it so it does activities for me so that I don't necessarily need to do myself and can spend more time with, you know, working with clients on instead.
Thank you, Stacy. That's good. Any other ideas? Or maybe you don't know what questions to ask, and that's fine too. Well, let's roll ahead then. I think we've got everybody. We're pretty close, yeah. So go ahead and look at your workbook on page 6.2. 6.2, I think is what we call it. There is a quote there at the bottom that says, it's Gary Keller, "Your database is your business. Building up the number of names in it and a relationship with those names is really at the very core of what building a real estate business is all about." So your database, and it's also referred to as a data bank, is where you make your money, because it's where you have all the information about all of your clients. Some brokers who have an extensive database and they've taken very good care of it, when they decide to leave real estate, you can actually sell that database so that another broker can take over business and you can continue making money from it. But as far as your database, it's where you're going to dump everything, all the leads that you have. Have you, and go ahead and hit the raise your hand button if you have started putting contacts into your database in Command. Thank you. And sometimes this is just easier, right? Excellent. Are you finding it pretty easy to use at this point?
The only problem that I had was I imported from my cell phone, and when I exported into a CVS sheet, the headers weren't the same, and so it didn't go all the way in. And so I thought that I could import it again with the right headers, and then just delete all of the manuals or the duplicates, like it would automatically delete. But apparently, it doesn't automatically delete, so I have to go through now and delete because I had 1,300 contacts in there. And so I have to go through and delete 1,300 of those now. So I don't know if there's an easy way to streamline that or not.
And that is always a problem. Transferring, importing, exporting contacts is not smooth yet. I actually just did, I transferred, I don't know, 800 contacts from another broker's database. And I had to go to the agent service coordinator. In our market center, it's Ashley Gallo. She's our tech person and our agent services coordinator. And I finally just went to her and I said, help me. I don't know how to do this. And so if you're struggling with it, don't waste any more time. Go to the tech people and ask them for help. And they're either going to tell you how to do it or send you a video that shows you a step-by-step, but they help make it a lot easier. So use those people in the market center who that's their wheelhouse. Let them help you. Definitely. Because you can spend so much time trying to reinvent the wheel yourself. And I've tried that and I just get frustrated technology and I don't get along really well, which is kind of funny that I'm in this business, right? But I'm glad that you mentioned that. So Command, you're all using Command, and at some point today, we're going to walk through putting a contact in Command, but I'm guessing that most of you have already done that anyway, which is great. And good job, Stacy, you have 1,300 contacts. That's amazing. Awesome. All right, now we're going to talk about the difference between leads and contacts. Who knows the difference between a lead and a contact?
I just asked Mara this question actually, because I was going through the database making those changes, and she said that a lead is or a contact is just everybody in my database, but they turn into a lead when they have an interest in buying or selling a home, or they show an interest in buying or selling a home, or a lead that comes from like a website or somebody else or something like that. I think that's what she told me.
Yes, and this, I'll even read this straight from the page. From my workbook, leads are people who have expressed interest in a service or offering of yours from social media, other marketing platforms, your website, or word of mouth. You haven't established a relationship, and yet you have the right to have a one-way conversation with them. That is to respond, to begin to build a relationship. So leads are people that you know of who are interested. They possibly need your help, but you don't have a relationship yet. Contacts are the people that you do have a relationship with. You know them, they know you, and you have their permission to engage in communication with them. Now, this can be your sphere of influence. Obviously, you already know these people, but it also can be someone who walks into an open house and you build rapport with them, and you get to the point where you know that you can now start offering them information and having the conversations about, are you ready to buy? Do you have a lender? And having those types of conversations, so you can convert a lead to a contact in just one conversation. Do they all go in your database? Do leads and contacts all go in your database? Yes, absolutely. They all go in your database. And even if you don't know much about them, you know a plumber who might be able to help your contacts, put in his name and his phone number. Your neighbor, you know their address, maybe you know their phone number, put them in your database. Everybody goes in there with as little information or as much information as you have, so you have a place to keep them. And you can classify them as leads. Right there in Command, there's a little checkbox where you classify them as a lead, and then you can uncheck it when they become your contact. So on page 6.3, there's a little model there. Look at page 6.3, your database defined. Looking at this model, we've got lead generation, relationship management, client, and referral loop. Where in there does the database land? Where's your database land? Is it all about lead gen, relationship management, or client and referral loop?
Isn't it all three?
It's all three, but there's one that really focuses on your database.
Number 2.
Anybody agree with that? Relationship management. Absolutely, yes. Relationship management is what your database is for. A database keeps you organized so you can run your business effectively. It keeps a comprehensive record of communication and the relationship. It helps automate other tasks, and that Smart Plans and Task Manager, which your database will do for you, we don't get to cover those in this session, but those are 2 tools that will be extraordinarily helpful for you, and you'll get them in sessions beyond this. But Smart Plans, you set it and forget it, and it reaches out to your clients. Task Manager helps you remember tasks that you need to do for your database. And a well-maintained database holds value and can be sold, as I mentioned already. You can actually sell your database. That's called the golden handoff. But all of you are just starting, so we're not going to talk about selling your database yet. All right, awesome. You're all so quiet, and that's fine. And you can interrupt me at any moment, and I talk fast, so I'm here for you. You make it what you need it to be. So if you need to interrupt me, please do. Please do. So in Command, we are going to, let's see if we're going to do that now. Nope, we're not doing that yet. Let's go to page 6.4, 4 laws of the database. And I'm sorry, my assumption is that you all do have your workbook in front of you. Okay, 6.4, the 4 laws of the database. This is the why of using your database, which is your business. Number 1, we're going to talk about building your database. We're going to talk about feeding it every day. We're going to talk about communicating in a systematic way and servicing your leads that come your direction. Those are the 4 things that we're going to cover today as far as growing your database. Before we move on, do you have any questions or any ahas yet? Quiet crowd.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Even anybody can be my lead. For example, I have a neighbor who knows what I'm doing. I know what he's doing as a job, but we never had any meaningful conversation related to any real estate issue. Is he still does he still can be my lead, and I still need to try to convert him to my contact later?
Absolutely, yes. Anybody that you know can be a lead, and that's an excellent question. And so you can drop them in your database, and with, say, a neighbor, you could say, hey, I'm in real estate now, and I have access to this great tool that lets you know the values of homes in our neighborhood. Would you like to receive that? You're giving something of value to your neighbor, and you have a lead in your database. Now your neighbor is going to remember you're in real estate. So maybe your neighbor will never sell his or her house, but maybe they hear of somebody who is interested and they're like, hey, my neighbor's a realtor. Maybe they can help you. So long answer to yes, definitely. Drop them in your database. Everybody you know, put them in there, because everybody that you know, most of them know somebody who needs to buy or sell a house. And so you want to be top of mind for them.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good question. Any other questions? Ahas?
I have a quick one, actually. I was over at a friend's this weekend, and he said he got me the Seahawks scarf because somebody at his work said, hey, do you like the Seahawks? He goes, no, but I know somebody who does. And anybody who thinks of me and they think Seahawks, or they hear Seahawks and they think of me. And so that's kind of the same concept that I want to have for my real estate business, that I'm so flamboyantly, excited about it, that anytime anybody hears for a sale or a house, they think of me. Same concept. It was just an aha this weekend.
And that's an excellent aha. And honestly, I don't think you can ever tell your friends and family, your contacts, too often that you're a realtor, because they forget. Even if they used you to buy or sell a house 5 years ago and they had a fabulous experience, it's time for them to sell a house now, and somebody else that they meet is a realtor and they're like, oh, I'll go with you. If you haven't been cultivating that relationship since they bought or sold the house, if you haven't been reaching out on a regular basis just to check in with them, tell them what the market is doing, ask them how's your family, they're going to forget you, which is kind of blows my mind, but it happens.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. Exactly. So with all of our clients, when Hannah and I sell a house, whether it's a buyer or seller, we keep in contact with them. And when we have client events, we will send an invite to all of our past clients. And the ones in Idaho say, I don't live there anymore. Right, you don't, but you still know people here. And if you hear that they need to buy or sell a house, you can refer them to me. So even when they move out of state, don't stop talking to them, because they can refer business back to you. Or they might not have any idea of any realtor in the state they moved to. So they're going to reach out to you and say, hey, How do I find a realtor here? And then you can send a referral to them, and you can make a referral fee by sending them a broker in their area. So it's never, you just can't over communicate with your database. I've only had one client tell me, stop inviting me to pie events. I don't like pie. Stop it. But other than that, they don't say, quit talking to me, because you're typically interested in what's happening in their life, and or you're offering them something of value. So your experiences, their experiences with you are positive. So they don't say go away. They just figure, okay, you are here for me, you're the professional, you're the expert, you've got something for me, and they keep the communication lines open.
Even being an expert in like people who work on houses, landscapers, house cleaners, roof cleaners, window cleaners, anything like that, because they'll still think of you whenever something goes wrong with their house. Any other side ways that you can get people to think of you with regards to any part of a house. Hey, sorry, my dogs. We just had puppies, so there's dogs everywhere. But that's what I try to keep in mind. So just the side off contacts as well will keep you in mind, because people will think you're an expert and they'll think of your name whenever that comes up.
Exactly. Top of mind. Just keep yourself out in front of them. And while we're on that subject, before I don't want to forget this, this is one of the things you can do with your leads, your contacts, people who have already bought and sold, is provide them with a vendor list. To say, hey, here's a list, here's a plumber I recommend, here's a contractor I recommend, here's a landscaper I recommend. That is providing something of value. Something of value doesn't have to be directly related to buying or selling a house. You're just providing something that they could use. And again, it keeps you top of mind. So that's a great way to reach out. You can do that. You can either make a phone call and offer them that information. You can do a mailer, you can do an email, you can do a social media post and say, hey, these are the people that we recommend. And that'll tie into another section here a bit later. But yeah, good point. Thank you, Stacy, for your input. All right, so let's move along to the building your database. Who are the first people you put in the database? You can actually put it in the chat box because I opened it to try to be aware. So who are the first people you put in your database? Let me see some answers in the chat box. Family. Important contacts. Friends. What about coworkers from other jobs that you had? Neighbors. Thank you, Taylor. All of these people that you're talking about, they are your sphere of influence, your SOI. These are the people that already know you. They already like you. Hopefully, you already like them. And a good bunch of them, I would imagine, trust you as well. So this is your sphere of influence. Your sphere of influence, they're your raving fans. Get them in your database, because then, first of all, you're going to have all of their contact information in one spot, but also you can systematically communicate with them, reminding them that you're in real estate. There was I can't remember the realtor's name, Keller Williams. She's a big name in real estate. And her mom lived in some other part of the town. And the neighbor said, I need to sell my house. And the mom didn't mention her daughter, who's a realtor, because she just didn't come to mind. So we have to remind people, even our moms and dads sometimes, that we are in real estate and we do want to help anybody, and we can. So your sphere of influence goes in first. What kind of information do you want to gain? What kind of information should you put in your contact card in Command? What's the bare minimum that you need in there?
Name, contact information, and past record of business with you.
Excellent. Love it. Straight out of the workbook. That's perfect. I'm going to send you into a breakout session. If you have these 3 pieces of information, absolutely yes. You know who they are, you know how to find them, and you know what you did with them in the past. There's another one I'm going to mention before I send you to a breakout session. Where did this contact come from? Where did they come from? Did you know them from a previous job? Did a friend say, hey, this is my friend who wants to buy a house? What was the source of that business? Mara said at the beginning when she was introducing me, she said that most of my business comes from past clients and referrals. We track every single year, every single transaction that closes, we track where did that business come from? We want to know what's working for us. And prior to COVID, open houses were always in our top 3, always. COVID happened, couldn't do open houses, so open houses are making their way back towards the top 3. But in 2024, all of our business came from past clients, past client referrals, and our sphere. Every single piece of business came to us. Tells me a couple of things. Excellent, I didn't have to work too hard to get that business. Not so excellent because I didn't work very hard to get other business. So it's nice that they're coming to you, but don't ever stop yourself from going to get more business. So that was a freebie. So I'm going to send you to a breakout session. And what I want you to do in this breakout session, this will just be a couple of minutes as well, as I want you to come up with more information that you think would be important to put in that contact card for every one of your contacts. So not just their name, contact information, and how you know them. What other information can you put in the contact card that will be helpful for you going forward as you work with this client? So you all experts at the breakout room already, so we're gonna try it again. Except that I can't see them now. Hold on. There we go, breakout rooms. And I think we're going to recreate them. So you're talking to different people. So what other information do you need in Command in your database about each of your contacts? That's your question. And go. Welcome back, everybody. Everybody, welcome back, everybody. What are some things you want in your contact card that you want to remember about your contacts?
Hello.
Why don't you go ahead and throw them in the chat? What are some things you want to know about your contacts? So when you look back at those contact cards, you've got information that you can use. Good one, Taylor. Any personal information that can help spark a conversation? Other family members' names and info, that's good. Hobbies, birthday. Recent events. What about where they work? Or if they bought a house from you, or if they sold a house? If they're pre-approved? If their kids go to your kids' school? Anything at all that you can put in there that's going to help you serve them better. Think of it that way. How can I serve my leads, my contacts, my clients better? Put that information in your database for them. A couple of others that are here. Oh, do they own or rent? That's a good one. Forward questions. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And that's always a great way to have a conversation with your clients. Other family members' names, that one was already named. Good job, Ryan. All right. Do you all have your laptops, computers, phones available so that you can practice adding a contact to command? Yes? Thumbs up? Are we good? Thanks, Johanna, for the thumbs up. All right, I'm going to open my command as well. You won't see it here, but go ahead and open up your command and go to the home page and holler at me if I'm going too fast. On the left side of your command homepage under the red KW block.
Quick question, I'm
The
sorry,
second-
I'm doing it on my phone, while I'm on Zoom on my phone because my computer died. Is it gonna look the same as your computer is what I'm asking?
Well, no, because
It's the app.
the icons are in a different place on the app, but you're looking for the icon that's a box with a little person in it. So we're going to go straight to our contacts. So either on the app or on your laptop, it'll be just a square box with a little person's head and shoulders in it. Click on that icon with the person's head and shoulders, and it will pull up all of your contacts. And to the right on a laptop, there's a button that says add contact. Click on that. I'm actually going to open it up on my phone too and see how it looks there.
It's just a plus button at the bottom of the phone that you click on it to add.
All right. Yep. Down at the bottom right on your phone, on a mobile, it'll say add contact. Well, that's easier. The mobile app is great. So when you click on add contact on your phone or your laptop, you get a box that says add to contacts. So right now, a lot of you already have contacts in your command. Think of somebody who you know is not there. Maybe your hairstylist, maybe your trainer, maybe somebody that you walk your dog with. So think of somebody who is not yet in your contacts and go ahead and drop their name in the box. And then after you've done that, just add with just this box right here, add as much information as you can about that contact. After you've entered their name, phone number, email, then scroll down and there is a box there for tags, which we will talk about some today, but you'll probably get more of that later. But tags, there are system tags, buyer, seller, referral, vendor, etc. But then you can also create your own tags. And with mine, I created bought and sold as well, so that I know if they bought something from us, if we sold something for them. If they bought something from us, now they're a seller, so I add the seller tag. So you can have as many tags as you want, and you can use system tags again, or you can create your own tags. And then further down is additional contact information, the about section. In the description box, that's usually where I write where they came from. So it's right there in front of me. When you have added as much as you can about that contact in your contact card, please just throw me a thumbs up in the chat box so I know that you're finishing up. Any kind of emoji, put an emoji in the chat box when you're done with your entering your contact. Taylor and Stacy, since you're done already adding your contact, think about, make a list for yourself, make a note of what you need to reach out to them for. What don't you have that you need in the contact card? And that is a beautiful excuse to reach out to your contacts. Hey, I want to make sure I have your updated email, or hey, what's your birthday? And so use an unfinished contact as an excuse to call that contact and have communication with them.
I've actually started contacting them and saying, just, I mean, the first phone call I've been making is, hey, just in case you didn't know, I'm in real estate. And then if I'm missing anything, like mostly, oftentimes it's their address, because I have the people's phone numbers and emails in my phone. And I will ask them, you know, I want to send you some business cards, and I'll send. That's what I'm going to write the handwritten notes with my business cards and send those out. And that's the way I'm going to get their address.
Perfect. Perfect. It's you're offering them something of value and you're getting something of value. All right, we've got 3 who have said they finished. How is everybody else doing adding a contact? I'll give you another minute or so. Thanks, Penny. I see that thumbs up. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. So put a bookmark in that, make note for yourself to go back in and finish that contact. But thank you everybody for adding somebody to your database. You now have one more in there, one more person that knows people who need to buy and sell. So job well done there. Go ahead and turn to page 6.6 in your workbook. And we're going to talk about feeding your database. Feeding your database. This law is about adding people to your database, just as we discussed. You add all the people you know, your sphere of influence, the people you encounter regularly, your dentist, your children's teachers, your coworkers, etc. Where does the rest of your feed come from? How are you going to get other people in your database? People that you don't know. Where are you going to find them?
Social media.
Social media, open houses in the chat box. Thanks, Taylor. Where else can you go find business? Lots of people out there who need to buy and sell houses. Where can you find them? Talk to people everywhere. Yes, exactly. Yes, everybody everywhere. I even got a lead once standing in line at a grocery store. The person in front of me was talking about buying or selling a house, and I said, I can help you with that. And one time I went to my chiropractor and I went up to pay the bill, and the receptionist looked at me. She said, I need to sell my house. Well, that was a really easy lead. I can do that. So open houses, lead gen, social media, door knocking. Anybody here brave enough to go door knocking? I have knocked on thousands of doors in the last 10 years. I've only had 2 slammed in my face. 2, just 2 out of thousands. So that's not bad. And we have gotten several listings and buyers from door knocking. So if you're brave enough, give it a shot. So open houses, door knocking, events. The Lane County Event Center hosts the Home and Garden Show. Set up a booth, be a vendor. There are so many places that you can find leads, but the point is you have to go get them. You need to reach out and find them. And there are a couple of ways we can do that. Prospecting, and this is on 6.6, did I say? Yes. Prospecting, and I'm going to read this out loud. You can scratch notes on your workbook there. Prospecting is actively seeking leads and building relationships through your conversations. Prospecting is actively seeking leads and building relationships through your conversations. This is an active method of getting leads. You are doing something. You are doing some type of action to get those leads. Marketing, on the other hand, is a passive pathway for feeding your database. You're putting information out, social media, print. You're waiting for leads to come get you. So that's passive, but you're still putting your name out there. One of the things that I do with door knocking is I have door hangers that offer a free comparative market analysis. And I have a white space on the back of that door hanger that when I do an open house, I put a mailing label on that door hanger with the date, the address, the date, and the times of the open house. And I highlight that information on the mailing label, and I always hang the door hanger on the door backwards, because then when they walk up to the door, they see that highlighted mailing label with information. And I usually put the mailing label on crooked, so OCD people notice it right away, and so they have to pay attention to it, right? So, and I found with door knocking, if somebody opens the door, hand them whatever you've got. If it's your business card, a door hanger, a flyer, market information, whatever it is. As soon as they open the door, put your hand out with that information. They 99% of the time are going to take it because it's just a habit. It's a behavior they've learned. Take what's handed to you. If you hold it back here and say, I have an open house that's going to go on Sunday, and would you like this information? 99% of the time they'll say, I don't want it. So just hand it to them and they'll take it. Now it's in their hands. Then you talk about it. Hey, we're hosting an open house 3 doors down. We'd love you to come. And this is, you get a session on open houses. I think Mara said this week, but I love doing them. They're so much fun. And open house door knocking is the easiest door knocking in the world because you're not selling them anything. You're inviting them to be nosy, and neighbors love it. So that was another freebie. Lovely. All right, carrying on. I digress. You're all doing great. You're patient and doing a wonderful job. So building your database. New business comes when someone in your sphere is thinking about buying or selling. Repeat business comes from people that you have sold to and you are keeping that relationship going. And referral business comes from clients who aren't currently buying or selling, but they know somebody who is. All of these are ways you can build your database. Expand your thinking. It's not just the person in front of you. It is what is this person in front of me experiencing in life? Who do they know? So this is a really, really great way to build your database. Instead of saying, when I first started in real estate, I was told to ask, do you know someone who needs my real estate help? Everybody says no. They don't know anybody. Switch that to who do you know who is interested in buying, selling, or investing? So now they have to start thinking, who do I know who's buying, selling, or investing, or who's interested in it? And if oftentimes they'll say, I don't really know anybody. Then you say, well, who do you know that just got a promotion? Might want to buy a bigger house. Who do you know whose kids just moved out of the house? They might want to downsize. Who do you know who just had a baby? Who do you know who just got it transferred to another city for their job? So start thinking about what are the kinds of people that have to buy or sell a house, and turn that into a question for your sphere. Instead of just saying, I'm in real estate, so if you know of anybody who is interested in buying or selling, let me know. Jog their brain, make them think about it. And most often they're going to come up with something. Oh, my niece is having a baby. Yeah, they live in an apartment. They might want to buy a house. So do that. Plant it in their brain. Make them think about it. Don't let them get off with, I don't know anybody. That doesn't work for you because you're building your database. All right. And you're helping them. And if you are afraid of asking for business, like I am, I hate asking for business. Ask people, who do you know that I can help? I want to help them. I want to help them have a great experience buying a house. I want to help them get the best price for selling their home. I want to help them move on to the next chapter in their life. Who do you know that I can help? Not just, I want business, give it to me, because that's what asking for business sounds like to me. And so for me, it has to sound personal. Of course it does for everybody, because this is personal. This is a relationship business. So when you're going after the business, ask who you can help, and then jog their brains about the kinds of people who might need to buy or sell a house. Okay. Oh, look, I think we already skipped ahead. Go up to page 6.7 in your workbook. 6.7. 6.7, there we are. Feeding your database with new, repeat, and referrals. And we've already talked about this, haven't we? Your family, your friends, people in your community, people who you have done business with or have done business with you. Already gone there. So next page, where it says testimonials and reviews. This one I had to look at myself a few times. I had to reread it and think, what are we asking for here? So let me just read this to you. And then maybe that will be more clear. All right. You want, when you work with a client who buys or sells a house, you want to ask them for a review. a Google review, Yelp, wherever you have reviews on Facebook. You want to ask them for reviews so that other people will read it and say, hey, I want to work with them too. Right now, if you haven't sold a single house, who are you going to ask for reviews? Can you get reviews from anybody right now, even though you haven't sold any houses yet? You can either unmute and tell us or drop it in the chat box. Tricky question, right? That's what I thought too. I'm going to read this word for word for you. There are other ways you can feed your database. Encourage the people that you know, we already talked about who those people are, to write a testimonial about you or a review of the service you've provided them in the past. So you all had a life before real estate. When you post these reviews on social media through your agent site or in any form of marketing, you might attract leads. So let's say you were, you built tables before you became a realtor and you sold tables to people. Ask those people for a general review about your professionalism, your responsiveness, your attention to detail, your customer service. Ask those people for a review that you can put on your social media. You can put it on your buyer, home buyer packets. You can add them to your listing packets. You can print them and put them on your open house, on the counters in your open houses. Because we're talking about how you take care of people. You didn't sell them a house, but you took care of them. So start thinking about people in your past. How did you serve them well? And can they give you a review for your service, for the way that you took care of them? If you look at, 6.8. So this one, you're going to work together in a breakout session. I'm going to give you more time because this is going to take a little bit more time. But look at page 6.7, I'm sorry, 6.8. Says testimonials and reviews. On the left side of the page, it says area of business or service. On the right side, it says who from my sphere of influence could provide a testimonial or review. So on the left side, that's you. How did you serve people? What area of business were you in? Were you in contracting? Were you in landscaping? Were you in teaching? What did you do prior to getting your real estate license? Or maybe you're still doing it now. That's you. Who from your sphere of influence, of people who know and love you, can give you a glowing review about that service that you provided to them? So left side of the side, services you have provided in the past. Right side, connect that service that you did with a person that benefited from that service and put those names on the right side of the page. Does that make sense? All right. And I'm going to, I was going to have you just do this on your own, but I think in a breakout session, you can help each other think of past services. Something that somebody else did might trigger a thought in you. Oh yeah, I did that too, or I did something similar. So first write down how you've served people in the past. Get that list on the left side filled out as much as you can, and then go to the right side and think about the people that you know that benefited from that service. So I'm going to go ahead and drop you into breakout rooms for this one, and you'll be in these rooms for about 7 minutes because that's a lot of writing. And if you don't finish now, that's fine. I just want to make sure that you've got time for a good start. All right. We're going to mix it up because that makes it more fun. Recreate the rooms. Okay. we're going to do 3 rooms. We're going to have smaller groups this time. All right. Ready? Here we go. You all were quick. Let's wait for the rest of them.
Oh,
Yeah, I think everybody's back. Nice. Stacy, I had to move you. I realized the training room wasn't connected and chatting with you.
yeah, it was just me that was in there.
Yeah, the KW training room was supposed to be there and they didn't go there, so I'm not sure
Oh,
if they're
gotcha.
connected to us or not.
Okay,
There are a couple people sitting in the room, so I thought maybe they were talking to you, but then I realized they probably weren't.
no.
So thanks for your flexibility. I'm gonna go just down the line and I'm going to ask each of you by name to share one area of business, some way that you serve somebody, and the name, it doesn't have to be their whole name, but the name of someone who in your sphere of influence you connected that service to so they can write you a review. So let's start with Sung Choi.
Uh-huh.
So what is a service that you performed in the past that affected somebody in your sphere of influence that you can ask a review for right now?
I can contact my previous co-workers, usually immigration attorneys, because I served multiple attorneys and their clients as a paralegal. So I can ask to provide some favorable review from them.
Perfect. Perfect. Yes, thank you. Be sure to do that. That would be an excellent resource for you. Johanna, did I say your name right? Good.
You're right. I work like an instructional assistant in Forest Grove School District and bilingual program, and I work with many teachers. And I was thinking on them, yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Get reviews from them because they know you.
Yeah, exactly.
Good idea. Thank you. Penny.
The most recent service that I provided is working at the local church food pantry. So I was thinking about maybe asking the the coordinator to give me a little review.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Thank you for that. Let's see, Ryan, how about you?
I helped my neighbor install a water filter in her fridge yesterday, and I was thinking about asking her.
Absolutely, yes. Something as personal as installing something on a neighbor's fridge. You served her well, and she probably has nice things to say about you. Thank you for that, Ryan. Stacy.
What Ryan forgot to say is it's an elderly couple next to him that he helps on a regular basis. And so the recent thing that he did was install the water filter, but he's somebody that they rely on to help with, tasks and that they call on a regular basis. So he does a lot more for him than that. So help yourself out there, Ryan.
I'm sure he does, but Stacy, maybe
Yeah.
you want to write a
Sorry.
review for Ryan. That sounds good.
There you go. Mine is networking, so industry professionals. I specifically, I know a guy that owns a carpet cleaning company as well as a home inspection company. And I've referred him people and back to me as well, and in my another life. And so having the industry professionals write something, I think would be a good place to start for me. And the name, if you wanted to name Raymond or JD.
Good place to start. Excellent. Taylor.
Hello. I actually currently own a photo booth rental company where I stay and attend the booth at all the events. So I have multiple clients that I could reach out to for reviews.
Excellent. Excellent choice. And let's see, Young Suk.
Actually, I have been in Korea for 2 years, so I don't have many contact. So I think I need to make a contact in the open house. I have so much work to do. Actually, I'm worried if it's something I can't wear. I don't know.
You said that you were in Korea,
Yes, right.
and who do you know in Korea that you served well that could write a review for you?
Mm. Oh, I'm sorry. Could you say again?
Yes, the people that know you in Korea, those are the people that you can ask to write a review for some way that you served them well. They don't have to live here and they don't have to be real estate business, just somebody that you served well. So keep them in mind. They can help you out.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. I think we got everybody. Perfect. All right, on page 6.8, please.
I have a question.
Yes, Ryan. Thank you. What have you got?
No problem. Once you have a review, do you just post it to social media, or are there other ways that you can use it?
Lots of ways. You can post it to social media. You can put it on Google. You can put it on Yelp. Lots of different platforms online that you can use. We also print all of our testimonials and reviews, and we put those in our home buyer packets and our listing kits when we go to meet with buyers and sellers. We spread them all out on the counter at open houses.
Are we able to add them to our websites that Keller Williams provided for us?
Absolutely, yes. You can put them on your website as well. Put them all over the place, so that the word gets out that people actually want to work with you. But that was a really good question. Yes, put them everywhere.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Good question. So on the page 6.8, any ahas. Write down any ahas you've recently in the last several minutes experienced regarding feeding your database. So just take a moment to write down an aha. You're all such great participants. Job well done, everybody. Makes my job really easy. All right, let's carry on to the third law, and that is communicating with your database. You have to communicate with them, right? So on 6.9, there's a quote, again from Gary Keller. Anytime Gary Keller has anything to say, I love to listen because the man is so smart, so down to earth, approachable, and smart. But his quote on 6.9, to succeed at a high level in real estate sales, you must commit to frequent contact with the database with the intent of building close relationships. So my question for you is, how long must you commit to building relationships? How long? How long do you need to commit to building these relationships to grow your database and your business? Yes, Stacy, that's what I was waiting for. Forever. As long as you're in business. Keep reaching out to these clients, contacts, leads, continue offering them something of value. Keep stay in front of them. Stay in front of them all the time. And when you reach out to them, it's a very good idea to have something to offer them, something of value. To offer them something of value, you need to know about them. What do they like? What's important to them? If I send, let's say I send out the Ducks basketball schedule to everybody, but only 15% of my people care about the Ducks basketball schedule, that wasn't a smart move. I spent a lot of money and all those flyers went in the trash. So you need to know what your people are interested in, what's important to them. So I want you to come up with a list, and this is yet another breakout session. You're going to brainstorm categories of people. A real easy one is renter, homeowner, categories of people. The ones we don't think about are dog lovers, golfers, and everything in between. Whitewater rafting, kayakers, first-time home buyers, empty nesters. So I just want you to brainstorm with your clients with your classmates for a couple of minutes. What are groups of people that you could market something of value to? And the sky's the limit. So we'll go ahead, and I'm going to only do 2 breakout sessions because 3 didn't work so well, did it? Stacy, sorry about that. So you're going to go into your breakout session and you're going to come up with all different kinds of interests that or commonalities that people might have. Maybe people in the military, maybe people who love to knit. I don't know, but come up with a bunch of different groups of people that you could market something of value to. So we're going into 2 breakout rooms. There we go. Oh, not 4. That's too many. All right. Okay, here we go into the breakout rooms to come up with groups of people to target market. Just waiting for the other group to come back to us.
In progress.
Here they are. They came back. Welcome back, everybody. Drop in the chat box, please, some groups you came up with. Can't wait to see how creative you all were. What are some groups of people that you came up with that you can market to?
Mine was supposed to say
Basic.
political based, like how the economy is doing is, didn't know how to exactly say that, but economy and with the presidential election.
All right. People with a lot of equity, parents, photographers, disc golfers. That's the direction we're heading. Anybody else? What creative groups did you come up with as far as categorizing your contacts? Investors, yes. So far, disc golfers are my favorite. First-time home buyers, yep. There are a few other recommendations. Where did they go? I lost them. People in the military, people who love to go on cruises, past clients, that's a group. First-time home buyers, empty nesters, people who have VA loans, they're pre-approved with VA, retirees, exactly. So you can group your clients so that when you go to offer them something of value, you're going to offer them something that is relevant to them. How do you, oh, what a cute small person. How, in Command, how do you indicate how you have categorized these people? What part of the contact card in Command will help you name these people, name these groups of people? Yes, tags, absolutely yes. And like I said, we have system tags that aren't nearly as exciting as the custom tags that you're going to make when you talk about dog lovers and disc golfers. But that way, when you offer something of value, say there's some kind of a disc golfing tournament in town, you can search in Command for the people who have a disc golfing tag, and you can send them that item of value. Or if there is, say somebody's coming to town who is a Marie Kondo, they know how to get rid of clutter and clean up your house. Put people in your database that you know could use that kind of information, group them into a category, and when that type of event happens, send them the information. And that's one really great way to communicate with your database is be forward thinking about what's happening in the community. So are we having a park cleanup? Are we having a light show for the holidays? Are we having the duck race, the rubber ducks that they send down the Willamette River? Think about what's happening in the community and alert your database to those things. You're offering them something of value, something of service. You're not putting real estate in their face, but you are keeping in contact with them. You're telling them something they want to know, and they're remembering that, oh, by the way, you're in real estate. So there's so many more ways to keep top of mind with your database than just saying, hey, I'm in real estate. So get creative with it. Have fun with it. There's nobody else just like you. No one else is going to do real estate like you will. And nobody else has the contacts that you have. So have fun with it. Make it fun. This should not be boring. It's a people business, right? All right. You're doing fabulously. We are cruising through this. The last thing that we're going to do is talk about the final law. And we're going to skip ahead to 6.11, servicing your leads. The final law is to service all the leads that come your way. This will come in the form of a strong lead follow-up program, which you'll get to on day 10 of Ignite. But servicing your leads, Gary Keller, again, says your job is to build a community and serve the community. A lot of what we just talked about is exactly that. How are you going to serve this community that you're building? By actively looking for ways to give them something maybe they didn't even know they wanted, but you thought of it and you provided that value for them. And here is a sobering thought. A lead not followed up on becomes someone else's lead, someone else's business, and someone else's income. And that hurts when you have a lead and you worked with them for a while, but then you kind of let it slip, didn't really communicate with them. And then you find out that the broker 3 doors down is working with them and is going to sell them a house because you didn't stay top of mind. So again, a lead not followed up on becomes someone else's income, someone else's business. My daughter, Hannah Reno, she admits that she's terrible about follow-up. She said, I don't like to follow up. It's tedious. It seems overwhelming to me to follow up. And so we just had our annual broker retreat last week. She and I go away and we look at last year's business, what went well, what can we change? Look at this year's business, what do we want to implement? And she decided that instead of saying, I'm going to follow up with my clients, that we're going to say, I'm going to show up for my clients. She said, I can show up for somebody way easier than I will follow up with them. So you can take this idea and run with it. We're going to have a show up board in our office where we're going to put on a Post-it or write on a marker board, how did I show up for my client today? I showed up by calling them, by giving them the quarterly call. I showed up by asking how their son was and how his wrestling match went last night. I showed up by dropping by and bringing fresh baked cookies to my elderly client. So all of that is client cultivation and follow-up, but showing up. Show up for your clients and they will remember you. They absolutely will remember you. And this is what servicing your leads is all about. Just show up for your clients, be there for them. And some people might never buy or sell a house with you, but those people are going to tell you about their friends and neighbors and coworkers who need to buy and sell a house. So just show up for them. Brilliant. My life has changed. I hope yours is too. That's when you say yes. Yes, my life has changed. Last page, 6.11. Maybe not the last page, but awfully close. Servicing your leads, taking care of your community. It is important to service all the leads so you can know the source. And we talked about this earlier. Make note of where that lead came from. Did they come from an open house? Did they come from an event that you hosted? Did they come from a neighbor? Write down the source so you can track where your business is coming from. And the reason you want to do that is because after a year or 2 or 3, you're going to see where you need to focus your time and attention. If mailers bring you not a single lead ever, but open houses are 50% of your business, where are you going to spend your time? You're going to do open houses. So track where your business is coming from. Your closed transactions, this is just where they're coming from. But then when you close the transaction, narrow down on that and find out, okay, where did most of my business come from? And put your time and attention on those top 3 sources of business. Other business will come to you from other places, but focus on the ones that you know work for you. The second one there on 6.11, track the relationship. Use your database to track your conversations, your interactions, etc. In Command, there's a notes section. Every single time you have a communication with somebody in your database, go into notes and put it in there. What did you do? What did they say? Where did you meet? Put it in there so that you have record of your communications with your client. And again, you can always refer back to it to look smart, or you can remember, I know they told me they were going to go to a concert. What was it? Well, you wrote it down in your command. So definitely track the relationship using what command offers you. And the last one on that page says reward referrals. If somebody brings you a client, a prospective client, reward them. We've got all kinds of past clients and sphere of influence that say, hey, my friend, my coworker, they want to buy or sell a house. Maybe, I don't know, but they're talking about it. So we'll take that lead and we'll work the lead, and whether or not the lead ever buys or sells a house doesn't matter. We want to reward that behavior. So Steve, a friend of ours who has brought us a lot of business, every time he brings us business, we send him a coffee card. We send him a gift card for Fred Meyer, $10 or $15, not much. They don't ever expect anything, but they're always happy to receive something, and you're rewarding that behavior.
I
So
have
they're
a
going to
quick
remember
question.
next. Yes.
I'm sorry. So let's say that you give them like a $15, $20 gift card to Starbucks, you know, for the referral. Now, if you actually sell a house, would you then give them like something bigger for a
I
follow-up? Or
used to do that. I used to do that, but I don't. I don't anymore. Well, no, that's a lie. We have done like not an individual kind of a thing for people who refer business to us. We will do, for example, one year we did, we door dashed meals to the people who referred to us. So we just, all of them all at once, 1 September, we said, what do you want to eat? And then we just sent them all meals. Our client events, that's another way that we reward our clients who refer business, because we invite just our past clients and those who refer business, and they always get something free, food, a guest speaker, a bunch of swag, whatever. So we do reward them. Yes, Stacy, good question. It's just not that every single time we sell a house do we do that. We do events throughout the year to tell them thank you for building our business. But reward the behavior so they remember you, and they send all their friends and family to you. And then tell them, those who do buy and sell a house, tell them, I love working with you so much. I bet your friends and family are just as nice. Please remember me when you talk to them. It's all psychology, right? All right, so command is again a tremendous tool for you to manage your business, to house your database, to feed, nurture, service. Everything you need to do with your database is right there. Absolutely use the task manager, because that will keep you on track every day. Open up command and see what tasks you have reminded yourself you're going to do. Do those things so they don't get backed up. And then at some point you'll talk about smart plans within Ignite. Those are marvelous. Set it and forget it, and your people are communicated with. One of the pages, communicate with your database, talked about how many touches: 19 touch, 1 touch, 36 touch. Those all have to do with the smart plans, where you create a plan that just automatically goes out to your clients, and they're getting communications from you. They think that you are personally sending them information, but it was just an automated thing. I had a floor call years ago, and this gentleman wanted to know about a house, and he lived in California. He said, can you tell me about this property? And I looked it up, and it was already pending. So I said, it's already pending, but I can look for more properties for you. And he said, well, no, I was just interested in that one property, so no, thank you. But he had given me his contact information. So I put him on a drip campaign, 1 newsletter a month, an automated drip campaign that I didn't have to think about, and it sent it to him every month. 3 years later, he called and he said, well, we're moving to Eugene, and I guess you're my realtor because we get your newsletter. So it is as easy as that. You never know what's going to work. You never know what's going to work. So use all the things, find out what works for you, enjoy the journey while you're doing it. Gotta have fun in this business, and build your databases. Build them and use them. 13 minutes before we're officially done. Any last questions or comments? Anything at all? I'm here. You got me. Captive audience.
Hi. I put something in the chat because I didn't want any screaming in the background, but where in Command are we tracking these communications?
That would be in your notes. So when you open up a client's contact card, there is a tab that says notes. Just click on that and you can type in everything, all the comments, and those notes are going to show up in your timeline. So your timeline will have all the automated things, but also your notes will end up in your timeline.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. Any other questions or comments?
How long into your business was it that you started having client events? You obviously have to have clients before you start having these events, but I'm just curious, how long did it take before you had enough that you felt it was substantial number enough to start holding those?
Good question. And I'm going to answer a different question first. How long does it take for your leads to respond and actually give you business? It can be weeks, months, or years. All of the efforts that you're putting into communicating with your database, it can take a long time. So stick with it. Your question, Stacy, how long until we did client events? We were in real estate for 2.5 years before we moved over to Keller Williams. And in the brokerage we were in, they didn't say anything about client events. And when we moved over to Keller Williams, we heard that everybody was giving away pies. So in 2018, we already had 2.5 years of clients behind us, and we had our first pie event. But I would say start now. It doesn't have to be your past clients. Invite your sphere of influence. And at every event, we always have a jar for referrals. We have some prize that we're giving away, and we ask everybody who attends, whether they be a past client or a neighbor or your doctor, whatever, doesn't matter. Always give them an opportunity to give you business. And we have just a little slip of paper where they write their name, their referral, the person they're referring, write their name, let us know if they're a buyer, seller, or investor. They drop it in the jar, and then we do it. We do a drawing, and that person gets a prize. Pardon me. And everybody else, now we usually get 8 to 10 referrals from an event.
Thank you.
Did that answer your question?
Absolutely.
Start now. There we go. Sorry, I've been talking too long. Any other questions or comments? Anything you're dying to know about real estate that I might be able to help you with? Going once, going twice. You've all been fabulous. Thanks for sticking with us through the entire course time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I am so glad to help. And let me type my email in here, because like I said, I always love helping new brokers. And so if you ever have a question, just want to run something by someone, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, because if I can help you, I will. And if I can't, I'll give you a recommendation of who might be able to. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. You get 9 extra minutes in your day. Woo! Have a good Monday. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
My pleasure.